Welcome everyone. Let me just get warmed up. Oh my god, what? I just said let me get warmed up and then we get this. Yes! Let's go! The clock! 2 minutes! Hey, stop pressing my thing. Ah, okay. No! No! Ah! What? Okay, oh my god.
The great question, do you know that this setup here is the reenactment of Bobby Fischer and Spassky?
Wow.
It's true.
Adidas кроссовки. Полоски. Полоски. Полоски.
This is bullet therapy. Oh no, that's a good. Okay, I'll just. Should I just keep playing? Oh my god! I think I'm flagged. Oh! 0.01? I get 3 3100s in a row. Yes! How is this? My knight is gonna do a really genius reposition. Oh no! That was not what I meant. Oops. Do I see you're endangered? I miss playing chess. Every time I think it can get worse, it gets worse. Oh, this is rigged. This is the worst thing I have ever done. Where's the mate? What? Okay, hello everyone. Let me turn on some music. Yeah, I unmuted. It's all good. It's all good. Hello, hello. Hi, Benz. Hi, Coraxio. Hi, J Will. Thank you so much, DBL Click, for the 17 months. By the way, I saw it as the intro was going on. Thank you so much for that. Hi, Alpoca. Hi, Bang T James. The dog bark was the best scare ever. Oh yeah, I didn't expect it at all. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, no, I was good. How was my study session? Bold of you to assume I studied. Let me turn on the music. What kind of music do we want today? Oh, what kind of music do we want today? Something like this? This is very loud. 1 second. Okay. It's fine. Damn. Every time somebody uses dots, it seems very dramatic to me. Hi, Governor. You clicked right when the stream and the starting soon ended. Well, I'm glad you're all here. I hope you had a good weekend, good Saturday and Sunday. I am back for a very short stream today because I do need to get back to studying. I honestly think it's a common thing that chess players like techno. Although, maybe it's quite possible that I was influenced. I don't know. Maybe I was influenced by them to start listening to techno, but I've always liked techno during chess. Not sure why. This is not techno. This is, I would say this is house, but I really like techno, especially during bullet. I think you just want something hype, you want something with a beat, but I also don't want words. So, I mean, techno is the logical choice. If I drop 9 points, I will have 2345. You know what, guys? I'm gonna get 2400. I wasn't even gonna grind today. I was just gonna do a chill, like, tournament recap, you know, no big, no grind stream or anything, but now I'm annoyed because I remembered my bullet. I remembered my bullet run yesterday and now I'm mad. Now I remembered it. Now I have to play. Should have probably played g6, but it's fine, I don't care. Oops. Gonna need to fix that after the game. How do we take? I think I like this. Oh, that's... Hopefully it's fine. Jeez. Can I? I don't know, can I? I don't know. Someone tell me. I don't know if I can. Not sure. Maybe I can't? I don't know. Very slow, hella slow. Okay, I need to be faster than that. Sure. This is actually concerning. Yikes. Well, we're cooked. Unfortunate, but we're cooked. Yes! Oh my god, maybe luck is on my side today. Luck is actually on my side today. Maybe today's a good day. Maybe today's a good bullet day. I like the description of Poca. That's pretty accurate. Oh, board size is back to perfect? No, that's not perfect. What do you mean? This is so off. This is so off. What are we talking about? Oh, that's even more off. I like this, but I don't like that part. Okay, this is fine. Not my favorite, but it's fine. Hi PMD, nice to see you. There is gonna be a tourney recap. It's gonna be quite short. It wasn't gonna be a long stream, but then I remembered my bullet and I remembered that I want to get to 2400 again. Oh, so you only suggested when I'm beatable? That's not good to hear, because you suggested a lot. Thank you, Diego, for the follow. Hi, Justin. Good to see you. How are you? Good evening, Gasmag. Vamos. Oh, that's free. God damn. It's okay, I'll take it now. Okay. Oh, maybe that's not my best choice, actually. Okay. Yeah, I should not have given that. No! No! This is so sad. I hate that I did that to myself. Sure. I don't know what's going on here. No, wait, no! Oh no, no. Oh. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Okay, let's try. No! Sorry. I'm gonna lose on time. I hope they don't count. Yeah, okay, they counted as a draw. I sacked a rook. Good. I thought it was gonna be a draw. Good thing I retired yesterday. Yeah. Good thing I did that. Good thing I kept my word about quitting chess completely. Oops, already not a good start. Interesting stuff going on. Sure. I like my position a lot. Okay. Okay, whatever. We'll just do this. Okay, plus 12 is juicy. Plus 12 is juicy right now. I hope this is not going to be a super long stream then. Hi, Reef. A few screams, not that many. I wouldn't say so. Hi, Beastie. Nice to see you. Not too bad today. Thank you, Zeus, for the follow. Nice, three stream streak. Let's go. Not sure when I'm supposed to play knight b4 and when I'm not. At some point, I should have played knight b4. Okay, I don't. This is a bad move, but it's bullets, so who cares? So who cares? Oh, okay, yikes, I missed that completely. It's a problem, that's a huge problem right now. Why did I suddenly become down 2 exchanges? That's an issue. Thank you. No! Yikes, no. No, that was so close. I was so close to saving it, but not close enough. Yeah, not close enough. It's okay. Maybe you can stalemate me, sir? Thank you. Sure. Okay, fine. Kira, thank you so much for the raid. Just noticed it. Welcome everybody from Kira's raid. Hello everyone. How was your stream, Kira? Thank you. What did you guys do? How's it going, everyone? Welcome everyone from Kira's stream. Hope you're doing good. Hi, hello, hello. Thank you once again. Thank you, Space Pants, for the follow. Thank you, Georgi, for the follow. I have been trying to grind back to 2400 Blitz. That's why I was so extra focused. Bullet tilt is good. There's no tilt today, Pizza Racer. There's absolutely no tilt. I don't know what you're talking about, but I never tilt when I play Bullet. Thank you, Justin, for the extra shout out. Yeah, exactly. Nice to see you again, Elwood. Welcome, everyone. I was not on tilt. Who says I was on tilt? Just because yesterday I said I'm gonna quit chess if I lose the game doesn't mean that I'm, you know, on tilt. Like, that means nothing. Yeah, and then after that I'll try to do an instructive tournament recap, so that those ones are actually quality games, you know, not this suspicious Bullet that I'm playing. Am I from Ukraine? Yeah, I am. I am from Ukraine, but I live in Canada for half of my life at this point, so... Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the bio commands, because I never have the... Always forget about the commands. Hi, Renaboot. Good to see you. So, guys, okay, I think since we got the raid, it's a really good time to do a prediction. Am I getting 2400? Oh, should I? Because I'm not grinding for 2500, but should we do it game by game? No, we shouldn't do it game by game. Let's just do a 2400 grind. I'm not gonna do it day by day. Or is everybody just gonna believe? Okay, it's 15k on yes. Okay, maybe this is too much. No prediction, you lost 30k believing? That's not true. That's not true. My believers don't ever lose points in these predictions. Georgiana, thank you so much for the raid. We just got another raid, second raid in a row. Thank you so much. How are you guys? How are you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Let me give the shout out. I'm just cooked. Sorry. How do I see? I haven't done this in so long. Thank you. Thank you. This is what I meant to do. How was your guys' stream? Welcome everyone. Thank you. Thank you once again for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you to Sissy for the follow. She made a huge pizza on stream. Oh, that's so fun. Always fun to see a cooking stream. I've never done one myself, but maybe someday. I still remember the Christmas tree thing that she put on, that somebody redeemed and put it. It was really, really cute. Thank you, Grayo, for the follow. And shall we continue? So, for those who are new, I'm trying to grind back to 2400 bullet, and then we'll do a tournament recap. So hopefully that's instructive. Hopefully. But in the meantime, do predict the channel prediction of whether I'll hit it or I'll not hit it, because I need more doubters. Right now, too many people are believing, so I would like to see some more doubters. Cooking opponents in chess also counts as a cooking stream? Okay, well in that case I guess I do cooking streams a bit more often, but lately I get cooked in Bullet, I'm not gonna lie. Lately I get cooked. I think it's Chess TV. I do think it's Chess TV. Is it cold? Yes, it is cold. It's very cold in Canada. Right now I think it feels like minus 23 for me. Radio Griffin with a 3-stream streak, nice. I can't reach 2500. Well, that's discouraging, Zeus. I think I can. Hey, I think I can. Hey, guys, as much as I love Zigui, I love sharing the medicine part of my life with you guys, but I cannot take you on like surgery. It's never gonna happen. Plus, I'm never gonna be a surgeon, I think. So far, I think I'm not gonna be a surgeon. But even if I am one, you know, privacy or something like that might not allow me. Laws might not allow me. Anonymous, thank you so much for gifting to Georgiana. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, 200, like more than 100 hours of work per week is crazy. And I'm a workaholic. I love work, but not to that extent. Sorry, not to that extent. And no, I don't know my subspecialty yet. I have to choose it in a couple of years. But you guys, I'll let you guys know. Once I decide, I'll let you guys know. It'll be a cool moment. I'm very curious myself to decide. So far, my two favorites are family and internal med. I like pediatrics, but I feel like I like kids a bit too much to do that. Didn't I do one, PMD, I did one on stream. I did one on stream a while ago. I could do it again with, you know, some new knowledge, but yeah. Maybe someday. Ulan, thank you for the 23 months. That's crazy. Almost 2 years straight. Wow, Ulan, thank you for that. And you just started a hype train. Wow. Let's go. We started a hype train. Thank you guys so much for so much support, really. Thank you. And Ulan, another gifted to Charlotte. Thank you, Ulan. For us, it's not called MBBS. For us, it's just called like I did the bachelor's and then I did the MD and then now I'm doing the MD program. So for us, it's a bit different, but probably same concept. Thank you, Ulan, for gifting to Liv Harris. Thank you. And we hit level 2 hype train. Thank you. He does have an extensive network of music streamers. That's true. Thank you guys so much for so much support. Let me see the prediction outcomes. So 73% said yes and 27% said no. That's a pretty good distribution, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. Should I play or should I... I'm gonna try since we've got so many nice raids. I have to win it for the raiders. I have to try. I will take those. I don't get such gifts very often, but when I do, I will take them. I will take that. Whoa, I got so many gifts. Whoa, this guy's the nicest person I've ever come across. Look at him. Nobody has ever been so nice to me. I love this guy already. He is nice again. What's going on? Is it my birthday? But no, just kidding. Like, this happens to me too. Like, when you just crumble and you blunder one piece, somehow all the other pieces get lost too, and it's not a fun time. So I feel sorry for him, to be honest. It happens to me too. That was nice, mate. There we go. I tried to win it for the Raiders. Oh, you're a doctor. Which specialty, Zeus? That's nice. That's true, Ulan. The few times where you've gifted me subs to them, like I've come, they've been, even somebody has come to my stream before and they were really nice. How long until the recap? Basically, I'll try to reach 2400 and then the recap. I didn't know we were more looking forward to my tournament recap and story time. There's some story time as well. It was really fun. It's a cool last name. I've always thought it was very long. Cause like my name is just so damn long. I don't know. That's why I say Sveta. Sveta is the short version of my full name, Svetlana. But like, imagine coming up with a username every time. Like, how many letters is Svetlana Demchenko? Like, it's way too long. I've never liked it, but it is what it is. But I do like my name. Okay, see you soon then, Pindy. True. Yeah, I am, Arif, I am studying medicine right now. Thank you. I like Sveta as well. But most people like just say my full name, Svetlana. Especially in Canada. But the few people who know the shorter version of my name, that's how, whichever one is easier for them to pronounce is, I'm good with it. I don't even, guess my Starbucks name. I have a Starbucks name. Like, so for those who are maybe not North American, a Starbucks name is a name you go by because you don't want to say your real name to the Starbucks people because it's either way too long, complicated. Knight of 4 is kind of cool. Okay, I guess he doesn't want it, and thank God he doesn't want it because I don't know if I like that. So basically, I don't want to tell the Starbucks people my real name because it's gonna be like they're never gonna spell it right, and I don't want to spend like ages trying to explain it to them. So guess which name I go by? Unfortunately, I cannot take that, even though I want to. Okay, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Finish the hype train. Thank you guys so much for the hype train. I'll see which emote we got later. Okay. Check. Just cause why not? Okay, I need to be a little bit faster. Sorry, guys. I'm going a little slow and weak. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god, I actually messed this up so bad. I messed this up so bad. I should have... My fault, sorry. Sorry, my fault. What's like my mother's family name? What do you mean, Max NG? Okay, Alpaca, you're... Wait, 1 second. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Anyways, I was almost named Julia. That was the other name that my parents were considering to name me, so Julia would have been very close, Alpaca, but no. Okay, some people are close. Yeah, Anna would have honestly been good. but this way, thank you. I just go by Lana, just because it's part of my name and it's close to being real, so I just say Lana. And usually nobody misspells Lana, but then they started. So at some point I got like an order where it just said llama, and I'm like, how do you get llama from just Lana? But okay, fair enough. Like, it's hard enough for them to spell, so like, as in they have to do it so quickly that, like, sure, I don't care if they get it wrong. I just think it's funny that I already tried to make it easier for them, but it didn't become easier. So that's just the funny part. But otherwise, I don't mind at all. I don't care for the right spelling. Oh, I don't like that I did that. It's okay though. What is that? That's low-key scary. Huh? Why is he doing that? That's scary. What is that? I'm afraid. I fear for my life here. Ay, ay, ay. Don't do that to me. No, don't do it. Stop it. I should have been faster. My fault. Hi, Mojo. This is not coffee. This is tea. This is my huge jar of tea. Oh, that's your real last name? That's cool. That's a cool one. That's funny. Play faster. Damn. What time am I doing the tourney recap? Quite soon, guys. Wait, just let me get 2400. How about that? How about I just quickly get 2400 and we're out of here. We're quickly doing the tournament recap after that. I didn't know people would want the tournament recap more than Bullet. Who knew? Is this a paid actor who's just gonna give me the win? I swear I didn't hire any fake actors. Zeus, do command bio. I should have it in command bio or command chess bio. I forget which one. Paid actor. Wait. Yeah, I got the rating for it. Paid actor, sorry. Oh, we're playing Ali Reza Firuja. Except it's Ali Zera Fizura. Almost Ali Reza Firuja. Ali Reza from Temu. Yeah, I thought he might do that, but thought I survived somehow. I shouldn't have let that happen, but it's fine. Oh no! Dang it. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. It's kind of annoying. Mildly annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Elireza, don't go for a draw with me. Why would you go for a draw with me? You're higher rated. Exactly, that's what I want. Don't go for the draw, go for the loss. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is in true Alireza fashion because he always pushes for the win. So that's great. GG. Oh, he wanted a rematch. I don't mind a rematch, but I think he's already playing. It's kind of concerning, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. Let's check. And let's play knight b5. Although that's not really bringing me a whole ton of free stuff, so let's do this first. Queen g5? No, okay. I can't do that. Let's do this. What to do. I should have attacked way better than what I did just now. Oh, that was a stupid decision by me. But okay. Oh, why am I so slow? I'm way too slow. I'm way too slow, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. Very slow. Hehe. I'll take it. Okay, hopefully recap coming very soon. Oh, good, because I'll take it. Play here and like here, something fun. Queen e5 is a move. Okay, whatever. He doesn't see it, I will take it. Today my mindset is I'll take anything. Because yesterday I was not getting anything. I was getting loss after loss. So today, whatever gifts I get, I'll take them. I'll take that. And okay, one last game, guys. One last game. Also, For those who were here before, is my sound and my video, are they in sync? I really want to know, are they in sync? Because I changed one setting and I want to know if they're in sync or not. Yay! Okay, so hopefully that keeps going, because sometimes the longer I stream, the more it goes out of sync for some reason. So hopefully it stays. Fast chess, so he's gonna be fast. Let's keep that in mind. Don't think he can take. Why am I so slow? Take. No. Okay, well, it's fine. Why am I slow? Need to do something useful for once, okay? Let's do. Okay, finally. Oh my god. Please. No, I wanted to take all his pawns so that I would at least make a draw. No. No. It's okay. It's fine. Everything is good. Take and take on a2. That's actually foreshadowing for my tournament recap because we had a very similar position. Well, like, idea. Take. I'm trying to play faster, Max NG. You think I'm not trying? Oh god. I don't know where to play from here on. Maybe I try to do some checks. Whoa, what is that? Maybe it makes sense. I mean, it does make some sense. Knight b5. Oh my god, okay. Oh? Oh? Okay, I think I have this. I think I got this one in the bag. To be completely honest, I think I know how to win this one. Okay. Okay, 2 points. 2 points and we're almost there. Do I prefer online chess over OTB? No. I mean, lately I only have time for online. I think I'm better at OTB. Well, actually, I don't know. It's all a matter of perspective. I'm not sure. But I like both. It's just that I started with OTB chess, so it's maybe more dear to me, but nowadays I think I enjoy online much more than before. Posture check? I think I'm trying to maintain my posture. Guys, one last paid actor is all I need. One more paid actor and we are in. 10 seconds, I'll take the 10 seconds. Like, anything helps, anything works. Anything works, bro. No, I'm not picky. Oh, yikes. Oh my god, what is that? What? Okay, don't mate me. It's too early for this. It is way too early for something bad to happen. Okay, that's fine. Not ideal, but I'm okay. Why am I suddenly down a pawn? I was up like 3 pawns, no? I was up a lot of pawns and then they disappeared. No. Okay, good. We did it! 2400! We did it! It took some time, but we made it. Took some time. Okay, tournament recap time. That's what I'm saying, 10 seconds was actually really helpful from this paid actor, guys. This was really helpful. Yeah, I mean, Kojash, I mean, I think I should be able to get 2400 in a pool on a good day, even 2500 in a pool on a good day, but still, it has to be a good day. Thank you, Penekbet, for the follow. There's a lot of good books, Nightmare. Depends on the level. Oh, I only had 2 or 3 losses? I didn't know. Yeah, it's a habit. It's a habit. Okay, guys, shall we do a quick tournament recap? It's gonna be very quick. Like, it's not gonna be anything crazy. Thank you, YND, for the follow. So, Guys, do we want this to be instructive is my question. Because I don't do tournament recaps very often. Do we want this to be instructive? Should I stop it at like key moments and ask the chat? I will ask the chat only if you guys will actually think about it. Okay, sounds good, but... And also, another thing. Do you want to see all 5 games quickly, or do you want to see like only the most interesting games, but more in depth? Okay, I see yes, but what? Yes to what? Oh, did I say thank you, Vandy, for the follow? I just noticed it. Quality over quantity? All 5 in depth? No, that wasn't part of the deal. Okay, let's see all 5 and then only the interesting ones in depth, okay? Okay, so, for context. Ooh, do you guys want to see Timka? Because I need, for the full story, before I start like the full story and recap and everything, maybe I'll just bring Timka in depth, exactly. I'll see if he's there just because I haven't shown him on stream in a while. And then we'll start. I'm keeping up the suspense for the tournament. Okay, I'll bring him. Okay, make a heart, redeem, here we go. That's the redeem. I'll be back. So unfortunately, Timka is not here. He's getting walked right now by my grandma. So I just false advertised. I completely false advertised. He's not coming. So maybe when he's back, I'll bring him. But so for the tournament itself, to give some context, this was the Canadian University Championships. And that's one of my favorite tournaments in the year. It's also one of the few ones that I do play every year. So it's a tournament that all of the university students play for their own team, for their own university. And it's 4 players against 4 players. So it's a team tournament, like similar to Olympiad, I guess, if you're familiar with that, where there is individual scores and you can win the prize like on your individual board, but it's the team tournament that makes all the pairings. So I played for my university, University of Ottawa, and there were a lot of other Canadian universities there. Usually, like, Toronto has really stacked teams, Waterloo has some really good teams if you're familiar with like Montreal universities. So all the ones from especially big cities, they have pretty good teams. And I always play on board 1 for my university, so I get to play against the strongest player of every other uni. So I really like the tournament. I also really like the tournament because everybody is not like grinding chess full time, and they're also university students. So I get to, you know, me and my brain that's fried from taking exams can actually, you know, not... I actually don't get knocked out in 5 moves because of theory, because they know all of that theory, so everybody's sort of in the same boat. Yeah, it is FIDE rated. So it's rated FIDE and also Canadian ratings. So this year, our university was seated 5th at the start. Oops. Seated 5th at the start, and we had a really good run, especially, maybe I won't say my score just yet, just because that would ruin my, that would ruin the next recap. But some other guys on our team did well. Our board 3 won all of their games, which actually really helped us like do well in the tournament. So that was great. And so yeah, every tournament, every round we would play a different university. And I'll show you guys my games from it. Oh, and I guess I'll show you guys the final outcome. Is I brought this one because I couldn't bring Timka, so I brought something else. This is what I got at the end. I won the top women's prize. Oops. So it's a really cool plaque. Like I don't have any like this before, so I like that it's glass. And you guys see your own reflection. Say hi. But here's the thing about usually about the Canadian University Championships is that I always I never check on purpose. I never check how close I am to winning a women's prize or anything like that, because I don't want to put myself in the mindset of I want to win the women's prize. I always put myself in the mindset of I want to win top board 1, no matter because usually all of my opponents, all the board 1s are other guys. So I always set the goal to win, the overall prize. And okay, if I don't win it and I end up having the best women's prize, that's fine. But that's always the initial goal. So anyways, in the first round, we play... let me upload my file. In the first round, we play this guy, Kumar Sriram. I didn't get a chance to prepare much because when we were on the way to the tournament, so from Ottawa to Toronto, it takes about 4 to 5 hours to get there. And on the way there was a snowstorm the previous day, and we were a car. We were in a van. We had 8 people, so I was traveling with some friends who I've known in my few years at university. So, and as we were traveling, there was an accident happening right in front of us. So we had to stop and we called 911, and the person who was in the accident came to chill in our car because his car was kind of fuming, on fire. Tolga, thank you so much for the 11 gifteds. Thank you so much, Tolga. That was so unexpected. Oh my god, thank you so much for that. Unexpected. Thank you, thank you. Nice to see you, Tolga. You are just in time for my story time about the tournament. Thank you, thank you. How are you doing, Tolga? I hope you're doing good. Hello, hello. Because I thought it was late. It was gonna be late for everybody in Europe and all the time zones after that. But I'm glad to see you guys are still here. Is my Canadian national rating? Yes, it is. I think so, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's 47, 48, 46, but I think it's 23, 46. That's why it's there. I like how they do it one by one, and we get a lot of dancing avocados from that. So thank you, Tolga, for the many dancing avocados on stream. No, like, this is a Canadian rating. This is not the FIDE rating. My FIDE rating would be lower than that. I wish that was my FIDE rating, but anyways, that's the Canadian ratings. We have two, like, rating systems. They're still both important because, for example, for our Olympiad selections, they combine both ratings and they take an average of them. So I still want to maintain my Canadian rating, so it's still a bit important, but most people know about FIDE for sure. Max NG, with the redeemed of Ask Anything /advice, what would you like to be advised on? Or just ask? Thank you, Tolga. Thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing good. I guess I didn't finish my story of why I didn't prepare much for this game. So we were gonna arrive earlier, but then the car in front of us had an accident and it was like fuming, so we just invited the guy from that car to just chill in our car for a bit until 911 arrives. So then like, he was fine, thankfully, so then they came. It took us like an hour and a half until everything got sorted, and then he left. And that's why when we arrived to Toronto, we were low-key late. Not like late, we actually made it in time for the round. But I did not have any time to prep, so my prep for this game was that I knew he plays e4, so I just made my own decision before. Did I use my medical skills to check on the guy? No, I was in the back of the car. And the guy was like, no, I don't want to get checked, like, it's fine, like, I'm totally fine. So, yeah. You're alive, Tolga, oh my god, I hope you're okay. Yeah, that's true, that's true. So, Scandi or Alikine? Well, neither. So, yeah, anyway, so, but, you know, in moments like that, I'm like, things are much more important than my prep, so I didn't think too much about it. So, thankfully, everything was fine, and thankfully, like, our trip didn't have any other experiences aside from that. But I knew he played e4, so I just decided what I was gonna play, and I decided I was gonna play c5. You guys know this. I like the Sicilian. I like many types of Sicilians, but this one especially. So, lazy Sicilian time. So here's the problem with the lazy Sicilian, guys. People prep against it, and I don't like it, because that kind of ruins the surprise. If somebody preps against it, it ruins the surprise. I'm sure not everybody preps it, but sometimes people do, and they tell me about it after the game, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that? That's not what I'm likely to play. Oh, by the way, Max NG, I guess you redeemed the Ask Anything, and you asked me how to be a doctor the fast way, and I don't know if that's the question you meant to ask, but I don't know the answer to that. There is no fast ways to becoming a doctor. There's only slow ways. Only slow or very slow ways. No, so the lazy Sicilian is my specialty. It's bishop c5 right here. Nobody knows about it. It's very odd. It's one of those suspicious Sicilians, but I love it. So, anyways, people started prepping against it, so I'm like, okay, fine. I guess let's do the normal Taimanov, which is what I did. And this game wasn't too, like, up and down and exciting, so I'll just go over it quickly. These are very typical, like, Taimanov plans. I've played Taimanov Sicilian my whole life, so I like these positions. I enjoy them a lot. Now, maybe the only, like, interesting moment... Wait, I'll remove this one for you. Wait. I'll remove the engine for you guys so that sometimes when I ask questions, you guys can think on your own. Tolga, thank you so much for the 5 gifteds. Thank you. That is so kind of you. Thank you, Tolga. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Now we get 5 avocados dancing. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Here, usually the big decision in the time on-off is to whether to take with the pawn or with the queen. And like in this case, it's much better to take with the pawn, because for the queen, you really don't want to get caught into one of those. This is really, really bad. So here, just pawn takes. And these pawn structures are also typical for the time on-off. Sometimes you push e5, sometimes you push c5, it depends on the position. But yeah, it's like that. So this is what happened in the game. I just developed, and White's usual plan is that, yeah, they try to take over the center and maybe try to push e5. And that's exactly what I had planned. So I played c5, and after e5, there's a few options. You can play knight e4, you can play knight d5, you can play rook here first. I even considered b4. Like, my calculation, it was actually pretty cool, because if this, then this type of position is also kind of interesting. And you could play knight d5. I honestly, like, I was kind of a fan of this position, but then I started noticing some, like, really sketchy stuff like that, and I'm like, do I really wanna, like, go for this and then, like, have this pawn be hanging? I don't know if I want that. This looks really sus, and my king is still not castled, and I don't want to deal with that. So, at the end, I rejected b4. Tolga, thank you so much for gifting to Zeus. Thank you, thank you. You've been very kind today. I appreciate your support. So thank you. So that's kind of the thought process here. I personally preferred knight to d5 rather than knight to e4, for the simple reason that, so first I played rook here, which computer doesn't like as much. Thank you, Shepio, for the follow. Because it's saying that like I should keep the knights instead. I don't know. I like knight d5. And then after this, I was actually, this is like the good part that this never happened, because I was actually thinking about taking with the pawn, and I thought, look at my pawns, like they're actually pretty good. And computer doesn't like it though, but I didn't know that. I thought this is a good, like this is a decent position, but I think it's not decent because of this deep idea. But okay, maybe he doesn't play this. Let's say he just plays rook d1. Then the position is fine. But I guess it's while these pawns are hanging and he has all of those like bishop ideas and also maybe some attacking ideas, then I'm sort of not in time for everything. But yeah, good thing he wasn't gonna take, because I might have taken with the pawn and been a bit in trouble. So here he goes bishop here, and I thought that was very odd as a move. But try to guess, what should Black do in response? So now is the first critical moment. I'm taking in answers in chat. What should Black do? Yeah, so the two options here are knight e3 or knight c3, and that's the two that you should choose between. And I considered both of them. So let's start with knight here. In this case, I think Black is doing pretty good, 2 bishops, but at the same time, you don't really ever want to allow this knight to go somewhere like e4 and d6. And in general, this is a rather closed position where not many pawns are gonna get traded, so I wouldn't even say that my bishop is so much better than his knight. Like, my bishop cannot magically come to c5, and if it can't, then it's not that much stronger. So I just prefer the clear weakness rather than the bishop pair, and that's the right... Yeah, that's the right thing, so a lot of you got it with knight c3. Both are fine, but knight c3 is like quite a bit better. So then I played this, just developing. And then I took, and I was not afraid of this attack here because I was after these guys. Oh, yeah, I guess I should have asked you guys here. This was another important move. This was another important move, f5. So you just want to make sure there's no f5 and f6. So I did that, and in the case that he en passant, I think this bishop is pretty strong and there's no attacks here, while the bishop just got activated and might win one of the pawns there. So f5 was pretty important. I should have probably asked that for the chat to guess. And after this, now that everything is safe and settled on the king side, I just went with the queen here to attack these pawns. You would never play f5? No, I think if you don't, then well, you can obviously you can still be fine by not playing it, but if you get a bit too carried away, then f5 is actually really, really strong. That's a problem as well. I say en passant the English way, do I? I said en passant. Je pensais que c'était assez français, mais ok, fine. That's no, you shouldn't think like that, Hispanico. I will allow it. If it's bad for them, why not? It's bad for them. Why choose f5 over g6? Because f5 stops it forever. g6 is leaving some weird opportunities to still play it. Because of the pins. Anyways. After this, white is actually pretty stuck on what to do, and the whole difference of this position is that my bishop is much better than their bishop, so that's great. So now I go after these weak pawns. So in any position, if you give me a weakness, that's the best thing ever. I love playing these positions where there's just one weakness to press and you just do it forever. So here it didn't take forever though, because now that this bishop went away to defend, I got the chance to play rook here. And here there was actually quite a long calculation to go after, but I trusted that everything is fine there. So everything from now on is forced. First he attacks the rook, I take this pawn, queen d3. So it has a double threat, this and queen d7. Of course the rook has to not get trapped. We play here, queen here, and it might look scary, but I had calculated king f7 and everything is fine. The rook is not sacking itself anywhere here, so we're all good here. But at least white got something going on, at least they got this going on. So already black is in a bit of a bind, but since I foresaw this position, I thought there's nothing white can do that's really gonna break through, and the stuff that I see that they can do to break through, I always have counters to it. There's some h6 stuff, there's some offering queen trades, there's a lot going on. I can also start taking these pawns that they will most likely not have enough time to attack all of that. So they play this, and I decide to just go after the c3 pawn at first. Take, and here. So if they play rook d6 right away, I had calculated just check and then take here, so there's no problem there. But they played here, and still, I saw white's ideas rook d6, but I thought I could just take a pawn in the meantime, and if they play here, then I will defend it. And I thought I won't just defend it, I'll just defend it with check. Because check here, and now at least I get a move. So here the correct thing to do was probably just play h6 and threaten g5 in one of those situations. Maybe not right away because they can take. But whenever I have some queen c1 check threatened, g5 is a good defensive resource. But instead, I was you know what, I'll just promote the pawn. Everything is solid, defended, I'll just promote the pawn. And that was probably my only mistake in the game, because white low-key has a save, which personally, even after I checked the game, I still don't even understand it. I don't know what type of save they're talking about. But I guess we'll find out now. So you guys, you can try to guess, what do you think is the save for white, or at least what's the concept? Because it was low-key hard to understand. He played part of it, but not all of it. G4 wasn't an option? No, G4 was never really an option because I just give some checks and like I can take it as well, and then if they play F5 then I'll take a check and take it. Damn, my French accent is getting no, it's not bishop e7, queen c8, it's not queen e7. It's not rook d2, no. So, I'll tell you guys the start because he did play the start. So, no, everything is defended. Everything is defended for now. So, it's not the 8th rank, it's actually about the 7th rank. So, for white to ever make progress here, they need to put pressure on this pawn. So first move, queen c7. He did end up playing that, and I did see that. And white's idea is basically to play rook d7. Logical, you want to put some pressure on it, and yeah, maybe just try to win it. So here, I thought that's not a problem. I'll just check, check, and here. And now, there's only one move that saves the game for white. Well, not really saves the game, but makes it 0, 0, 0, 0. And why that move is correct? No clue. Like, I have no idea why it's so correct. Well, actually, I have an idea, but it was just really hard to see in the game. But I have an idea. Like, I'll explain it once you guys guess it. So yeah, the options are go back to the first rank, king h3 or king f3. You cannot send it with bishop to e7 because you're in check. Yes, so in the game, I'll tell you guys right away, he went just back and he was low on time, so it's kind of hard to understand, but that was not one of the right moves. King h3 is also not the right move because here, like h6 idea still works, and even there's some, I don't know, like maybe some checkmate ideas later. But even if this right now, then g5 is working out pretty well actually, because this, and you have all these like weird, really weird stuff going on with mate ideas, like, I don't know, like which one, I don't know if queen e2 or queen c4 is better, but you basically just have like a very intermediate move where you threaten mate. And like if they try to do something weird, it's not gonna work because you have mate ideas. But even this, like this is kind of like this is low, like this is rough. Like I don't know if I would have found all that, but black wins allegedly black wins. But I think this still has some work to do. But anyways, the wrong thing about king h3 is that you allow all of these mates. And king f3 for sure feels more dangerous, but that's the only right move. And I didn't see it because I thought, okay, well, I'll just give a check, I'll figure it out. But in reality, all of these moves, black just doesn't have any useful check to give. Not even this, but it's like very precise. Because every time I try to do the h6 idea to free myself with g5, now white can actually take, and take twice, and black is forced to go for the draw. So the whole idea is that you don't allow some queen c1 or some queen e3 with check, queen c1 mainly, because then if you allow queen c1, let's say the king was on g1 right now, then I'm allowed to play this takes, and then queen c1, and I'm allowed to retake. And he's also stuck. So that's the whole sequence there. Does that make sense, guys? But king f3 doesn't allow any of that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's a cool concept. I actually like that. I think I would not have liked that if my opponent had played this during the game, because I would have like messing that up, like when I had 3 extra pawns, like I would have crashed out, but okay. Thank God that didn't happen. He played back. And here, I just saw that h3 idea. h6 idea, I've been planning on it for a long time. I just never imagined that king f3 could actually escape it. But yeah, it would have been a little close, but it works. If it works, it works. So yeah. So here he saw my idea, so he decided to just take and play here, and rook d7. And here I really wish I had tried queen d1, because that's just beautiful. I really wish I had found that, but I didn't find it. I just, I went the basic way and I just gave checks. Oops. So I gave some checks. I don't know why my computer is glitching a bit. I don't know if my stream is glitching. So I gave some checks to make sure my e6 is protected so that I can take this rook. And then my king goes away. We're all safe. He definitely tries to trap me with his perpetuals, but I thought that my pawn would be faster. So first I give some checks. I'll play queen g4 if necessary to prevent these checks, and I decided to just push. Here I honestly got a little bit scared, because if I play b2, then this is not it. Like this is really not working. So I had to be still a little careful. So I give a check first. He moves here, and now if I play b2, that's still not working as well. I mean, it is working, but it just needs to be a bit more precise. So I decided to play just check and check. And now, no matter where he goes, no matter where the king goes, I will always have queen here and queen takes h5 if he ever pushes h5. So that was convenient. So now that I know that queen d2 will put him on a mine square, I'm allowed to play b2 guilt-free. So I took the pawn and kept it, and then he resigned here. That's it for the first game. Wow, that was long, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean for it to be that long. But I had some cool moments. But that was one of the boring games, honestly. Like, I was classifying that as one of the boring games. But I guess it had some, your PC is also glitching. Did you guys see the glitches? I don't know if it's just on my end. This is what happens when I avoid Puzzle Battle for so long. Hey, this one, no, this one was fine. My calculation was actually okay. Hey Becky, that's what we're talking about right now. That's what we're analyzing. We're doing the game analysis from the tournament. Okay, so that was my first opponent. Now the second opponent, this guy. So that guy was from, I think. So the funny part is that we played University of Waterloo 3 times. We played their Team A, Team B, and Team C, which is crazy. What are the odds that we play Waterloo 3 times? But okay. Waterloo, for those that don't know, it's a very famous university for computer science, software engineering. A lot that's one of, they have one of the best programs in Canada for that. So naturally, I think a lot of chess players end up becoming software engineers and computer science type of stuff. I don't know. It's a pipeline, I think. No, there's no. See, the thing about Canadian universities, they're all pretty similar. Of course, there's tiers, and you could say that U of T is the best for research and just amount of resources and campus. But I would say most universities are about the same in Canada. There's no huge difference in admissions rates, or there's no thing like the Ivy Leagues and the non-Ivy Leagues. They're all pretty similar. No teams are sharing opening prep. I don't know. No, that's not really a thing. Yeah, for sure. That's why I said, U of T, you could classify McGill and UBC, but I think for Canada, a lot of it comes down to programs, because, like I said, for example, for like computer science, everybody wants to go to Waterloo, which wouldn't be in top 3 in general, but it would be top 1 for its own field. So yeah. Oh, but by the way, so our team did not win that round. We actually drew 2-2. Yeah. And it was sad. It was sad just because like our people were really trying, and some of them were not losing, but it was just 2 guys had really crazy games and they ended up losing it. So the team drew 2-2. Yeah, business is more Western. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it more depends on the program. But yeah, we definitely have some like tiers, but I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't claim that something is so much better than another. But sure, if you went to U of T or McGill or UBC, we will let you think that, because I'm sure you want to think that. Anyways, let's go to game number 2. What were my teammates' ratings? So if we go by Canadian, mine is 2340, and our board 2 was like 2200 something, and our board 3 was high 2100s, but he's much higher rated. He won all his games, so I think he was just underrated. And our board 4, like we had 2 people who were substituting for board 4. They were like yeah, about like 1900 to 2000. So yeah, it was a very nice little ladder distribution, but anybody can play better or worse than their ratings, so we don't really like, I personally don't even check ratings as much, because I know that any game can go either way. Guys, this is taking way too long. Am I just a yapper, or are you guys talking so much? Because this is gonna take way too long. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes Canadian ratings are not super accurate, so especially university students, we're all rusty, we're all washed, so anybody can make it happen. I'm not. Okay, second game. Let's go over this one quickly. Although this is one of my favorite ones, but let's go over this one quickly. So I was playing against a guy from, forget if it was University of Alberta or University of Calgary, but it was a university in Alberta, and he this was a morning game the next day, and you know my favorite opening. You guys. You all know where it's going. This is I love it, especially against this setup. So already, like, this is just a standard setup, and he played knight e4 here, which was a bit odd. Like, I've never seen that before this way. Like, you very often in these lines, very often you see knight h5. This is a super common idea. This is like the most theoretical line ever, and I had this played against me many times. But doing it this way, like knight e4, I haven't seen too much. But apparently it's still okay. It's still fine. But I already started thinking here. So I play this instead, and now plays f5. So the point is that if I take, then it's a bit... I mean, I consider taking and playing knight g5, but there's no point really to do all that for no reason to make this trade. So instead I played c3, and I wanted to attack this knight one more time so that he's forced to leave. He plays d6. I play queen b3 to target this pawn first. There was some deeper calculation here, but I'm not gonna go too deep into it. So now he plays this. I considered this, but then it's like, then the bishop retreats, and then like, what is my pawn doing here? I actually don't want it here. So I retreated, which was the initial plan. So now the knight has to decide, and here, guess what I took with? No, I never watched it. I did take with the king like a true Chad. Of course I did. Of course I did. So, the bad part about this though is that the other two captures are better. So the knight is a better capture, because this is not really a thing. There's some calculation here. Honestly, I was scared of nothing here. I was personally scared of this, and then I was like, oh, my rook is trapped. I'm not sure I like it just because this comes next. But this loses because of d5, and then if this, then there's bishop to b5, so I didn't see all that. I'm not sure, like, it loses due to this, but I can see why this is lost, but also, I don't know. I wasn't gonna calculate. I wasn't that much of a Giga Chad to calculate all of that. So anyway, so I didn't take with the knight, although that would have been the logical thing to do. Queen d2 just felt a bit off because my queen was doing so much good stuff on these light squares, and then this feels like defeat. But taking with the king was a Giga Chad move, and I liked it. And there was nothing too wrong with it, so I wanted to do it. So now this is actually a really good point, because if he brings the second knight here, then my king is no longer a Giga Chad and it cannot be as good, so I have to open it up with e4. He plays this, I take, knight takes, although I think pawn takes was better. It looks odd, but it's actually like a better pawn structure for him. But instead he takes like this, and I play queen to e4, which was quite important to keep up the pressure and not let him castle so easily, because if he castles, then I, of course, take the pawn. So instead he goes this, I go like this, and once again, he honestly cannot castle, and it's a pretty, like, I really loved my position from here on. He does have e5, and obviously I cannot take because I will lose the queen and my king actually gets punished. But even if he plays this, I would have something like, I wasn't sure exactly whether to go to here or to here, but I just retreat, and then still that pawn has some problems to deal with. Anyways, he played the bishop here, and I started really liking my position around now, because I get to attack on this e6 pawn, and he cannot castle safely and bring his rook in time. So instead, his king also goes forward, just like mine. And my later plan was, I should have made you guys guess this, but now that all of my pieces are improved, I have to start making some threats. So I played g4, g5. Oh, and here, around here, I started thinking, like, is my position actually that much better? Because even if you are better temporarily and like all of my pieces are active, he doesn't have any weaknesses, and you still have to win something in order to be better. Like, you need to win a pawn, you need to win something, and I couldn't find a way to win something here. Still theory? No, it wasn't theory. My theory ends much earlier than that. But yeah, around this point I started being a little bit unsure of what to do, because you need to do something concrete, but there was nothing concrete. For example, this, it looks good, but then what? But then nothing happens, because rook h6, and I just opened up his rook that was doing nothing all game, and that was his worst piece ever, but now I just opened it up and gave it some life. Yeah, and if rook here first, then it's the other problem is that they play g6, and then I'm like, what is my rook doing? I did consider this for a while, and it's reasonable as well. But it's just, the real answer is that there's kind of nothing. White's advantage is not that huge. My advantage would have probably been greater if I had played some, like, well, it's saying g4 is one of the best moves, but it somehow needs to be combined with h4, and it's very, very small changes that are not really worth going too into detail with. But I did this, and suddenly I was like, I don't know, like, we're just gonna, like, I'm just gonna double up on the e-pawn and do that instead. And then I was like, well, dang it, now he is threatening this, and if I do just that, then he can actually play this. He can play h5. He can do some stuff I didn't want. So I decided to go back and just to be a little bit safer, and from there on double my rooks. So they play this, I play this, and suddenly black is actually doing fine, which I didn't, thankfully I didn't feel like it because I wasn't too scared. I thought, okay, I still try to do something for that e6 pawn, and thankfully it worked out. So from here on, black also made some inaccuracies because this way of sort of repositioning was not the best. He should have played something like this and then maybe tried to go queen f5, rook h5 later. But instead he just wanted to connect. Well, I could never take the pawn because this is hanging the whole time. So here it started being a bit better, and I think this is where the really important move comes in. Like, if you don't play this, then it's hard to claim a bigger advantage. So you guys try to guess, what should white play? Still don't know where you want that knight? Yeah, it's hard to know. Knight e4 you want? I think if knight e4, then there's some like e5 stuff. I even considered d5 stuff. I don't know which one is right. e5 or d5, because both are annoying. Rook f3. Rook f3 is the second best move. Dofarian wants to go after the e6 pawn. Oh, and you're actually right. So, big reveal. Queen h3. Well, obviously, like, I'll stop it at the interesting moments, yeah. Queen h3 is the right move, and that's what I played in the game. And that gives the biggest advantage because it goes after the e6 pawn. The thing about queen f2 is that rook f1 traps the queen, so that's nice. I saw that and that would have been very satisfying. But he didn't play that and played e5, which was expected because that's kind of the only thing left to do to get initiative. So we took, and then I took. And the reason behind e5 was that this pawn is hanging. So after all these captures, you can definitely go after this one as well, and I didn't know which one he was gonna go for. But both of them work, could have led to slightly different variations, but he went after this one. So then I made a check, and apparently there's a crazy move here that's winning. I didn't see it. It's only +2 winning, so it's not super clearly winning. But the winning move is apparently this, which I'm sorry, I would have never found that. I don't understand it to this day, because I didn't analyze these games super in depth, but how? I don't know why this is so good. But apparently this is good. Like, what do you even, like, okay, sure. Apparently this is great. So I'm not gonna argue, but okay. Yeah, so that was just a bit odd to me. I was not gonna willingly put my king on d3. So I stockfish, yeah. Exactly. So, I did not consider c4, so I went for something that was calculatable, which was queen here, which is a mistake. So this brings it back to around equal, but I still think this ending is easier for white to play, because I had a very clear idea. I wasn't just gonna go for this ending. I saw how I could win a pawn. So basically I played this, and now the only possible move is for him to move this. Because if they play something like that, then this is actually really, really good news for me. With the knight coming here, I don't even know if the knight coming here is the biggest issue, but just the fact that the bishop is never moving, the rook is never moving, the king is cut off, like, I can just do, like, I can do anything I want. I can bring the king here if I wanted to. So it's just like, black is deadlocked in that ending. So they have to try to untangle with this. And I played this, and now basically there's a pin over here, and I'm attacking one of these two pawns. So that's what I saw when I was playing queen d7. Actually, that's what I saw when I was playing queen h3, when I was calculating e5. So I saw this position and I thought, okay, just a pleasant one to play, I'll go for it. So at least a pawn, hopefully. He also didn't play it super correctly, but I know he tried, like, obviously, all of his moves made sense as well. But he gave up the wrong pawn, the one on a7. And from here on, I tried to be annoying with my rook. I wasn't sure that this is winning, and I didn't play it the right way. But I decided to trade my f or h pawn for that one. So that's what we do. Some mutual mistakes here and there. Thank you, I'm bad at chess for the follow. And then king up, so thank you, Lidstone, for the follow. No, I don't smile during the game. I don't smile. I don't show my emotions during the game as much as I do on stream. Although I did tell you guys, ever since I started streaming, I show emotions OTB a bit more than usual. Like, obviously I don't do the Hikaru stuff, like, he definitely does it more. But I show emotions a bit more than before. But I try to just be calm and stoic, but I do show some of it. I'm not screaming after my blunders? No, not always, not every time. So here he had a fun trick with c4, but we didn't fall for it. And after some deep calculations, or not so deep calculations, we got into this position and I was very happy. And here was another deep calculation. So I was deciding whether I take this pawn. I decided to do it, and the whole calculation involved exactly what had happened in the game. So then it goes here, pawn advances, might look a little scary, but we had it covered. So this, rook takes, rook e2, and oh no, h2, and my rook has no way to protect it except one move. I mean, you guys will get it, but what is it? Exactly, just rook g6 and rook h6 later. So this is not too hard at this point because he resigned after this, but I calculated it around here. This was the moment that I calculated that line. And I love it when the lines that I actually calculate happen on the board. So I'm always happy about it. But this was one of my favorite games. Like, I actually really enjoyed playing it. And I did feel like I gave up the advantage somewhere in the middle because the opening position was so good, but then it suddenly became a bit sharper. But yeah, that's the end of the game. I like this one, but yeah, it wasn't perfect. There were some mutual mistakes, but they weren't super instructive like the ones that were in the previous game. So I went over this one rather quickly. Shall we look at the next game? Honestly, guys, we have to go through this quicker because I do not have patience anymore. So, game number 3. We are playing, guess who? Another Waterloo team. I don't know what's wrong, but we got paired against 3 Waterloo teams. Oh, and by the way, that previous game, our team won the match, so that was good. That was nice. So our team won that match. Well, I have enough patience to play OTB chess, apparently. Still do, even after so long. But okay, here's the next one. I was playing as black, and this guy played d4. And you guys know me, what did I play? You tell me, what did I play? Let's see how well chat knows what I'm gonna play. Setting, I'm honestly like, this is such a setup. This is such a setup, but I talk like I'm 46 years old, chill out. Do I really talk like I'm 46? Mocha wins the predictability award. Oh, you played this guy once. Crazy. Pushy Discovery. So, basically, I mean, it's always hard to guess what I'm gonna play because I don't even know what I'm gonna play. So, no worries if you don't get it right because sometimes I don't even know what I'm gonna play. But this time, I decided to remember my Dutch days. So we played the Dutch. So I have a course on the Dutch, so it's one of the openings that I really like. But also the disadvantage of having a course on the opening is that everybody knows you played, and like it's so publicly available, and like some people just have my files on that course. So, you know, some people might know it. But anyways, I played the Dutch anyways because it's fine. And he didn't seem to expect it, which was good. So I play the Leningrad. I played the Leningrad variation, so it's not the Stonewall one where you push your pawns like that, but it's this one where you push your pawns like that. And they played, like, I didn't know exactly... No, I didn't say the result of the game. I'm keeping it as a suspense. You didn't know people actually played the Dutch? They do. Actually, they do, and I like it. I genuinely like it. I don't think it should be like the only weapon because sometimes, like, I just think having anything as the only weapon and being too predictable is probably not the best idea, especially like in the Dutch. It's more on this more suspicious side, so you do give up the center a lot of the times. You do, like, you put yourself in some interesting situations. So if it was the only thing I ever played, it would be very easy to like catch me in an unpleasant position, but because I alternated with like 5 different openings, you never know when exactly I'll play it. Looks ugly to you? That's so offensive to my kid. Look at how beautiful the Dutch looks on my course. I will always like the Dutch. Look at it, nice and green. Similar to the King's Indian, no hate on the Dutch. But you always get mated in 15 moves? Okay, well that's kind of one of the downsides. It can get sharp, but I think if you learn it... Exactly. See, Gandalf learned his lesson. Learned your lesson. Good, good. It looks beautiful. See, but I am gonna say the appeal of the Dutch. Yeah, so what's the appeal of the Dutch? First of all, number 1, it works against 3 out of 4 of White's main moves. What are White's 4 main moves? 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, it doesn't work against e4, but against knight f3, d4, c4, it works. It's the same way. It works like very, very similar way if you play the Leningrad Dutch setup. It's a setup, so you just kind of like, you play the same thing and there's not much to memorize in the first few moves. Against c4, it does not work. So first of all, it's a setup, so it works against many things. Second of all, it's pretty tactical, pretty aggressive. If you're playing like boring symmetrical positions all the time and you want something spicier, the Dutch could be it. That's like another appeal. There's definitely like bad things about it, like if you care that White gets plus 0.4 advantage on move 12 of some line, then okay, maybe the Dutch is not for you. But personally, I think the 0.4 advantage doesn't matter even at my level. I don't think it matters that much. It just matters if you like the position, if you know the plans. Like when you make a slightly inaccurate move, it goes from like 0.4 to 0.8. Like you don't... Like, I don't think it matters. It's like maybe even above my level. So that's why top players don't play it. For top players, yes, it matters. So yeah. So I'm not gonna claim it's the best opening ever, but I do think it has a lot of these appeals. And another appeal is that it's quite rare, so a lot of people are not prepared against it. So you just get nice attacking positions sometimes, and it's good. But obviously, like, I explain exactly the lines that I recommend in my course, and I'm not trying to sell my course right now, but you guys asked me what's the appeal of the Dutch, so I'm just answering. That if you do want to find out the appeals of the Dutch, maybe you can get my course, that's what I'm saying. But anyways, I've played it personally like long before that, and I've really liked it. And I've had some good results with it. Not as much lately, because I moved on to some more solid things, but decided to play it today. Do I do YouTube? I haven't released anything yet, but I just recently made a channel, so... Cheating on the Dutch? No, I don't cheat on the Dutch. I'm not cheating. Every time I play something else, I tell the Dutch I was thinking about it. So it's not cheating, it doesn't count. I'm joking. Yeah, no, it's not the most popular thing, but it still exists. Anyways, so one of the best lines for white is this Pianchetto setup. So he plays something similar, and this would have transposed to a lot of the main lines. Thank you. Oh, I didn't know I got those notifications, but thank you for the YouTube subscribe laws. So this would have been the main line. This is the very typical main line. Oh, Titus plays it. I know Titus. He's like, yeah, like I talk to him sometimes at tournaments, so I'm happy to know he's another Dutch enjoyer. Some people find it hard to play. Do you find Dutch easier to play than other openings? I think whatever makes sense to you and whatever you've studied, you've looked at a few lines, you feel confident in it, that's what's easier to play for you. It's a matter of taste. Like, for my taste, I really like it because I'm a King's Indian player. Like, I love the King's Indian defense as both colors, as white as well. So for me, they are in my comfort zone, these positions, and I don't mind being slightly worse or slightly cramped. Like, if I know the main plans, I'm good. But yeah. Yeah, Neil MacDonald, I actually learned some stuff about the Dutch from Neil MacDonald. I think he has a book. If I'm not mistaken, I think he has a book on the Dutch. So I did learn some stuff from that. But anyways, there's lots of things for against it. I love it, and I think a lot of King's Indian defense players would love it too. But it's a matter of taste. So I played just their usual setup. Like, for example, the engine says 0.5, but to me it doesn't matter because it's a position, it's playable, there's no quick trades. We both, yeah, it's a game from here on. Main plans here are to push e5 somehow. Somehow try to push e5 whenever there's a chance. Right now there's no chance, so how do you get out of 1200? Literally do anything, like just grind tactics or a specific opening and you'll get out of there. Just, I think any effort is good effort at that point. So I played knight e4. If he ever takes this, I would be pretty good with that because then I get to solidify with this. And I like these positions a lot. But white doesn't have to allow that. So he's playing queen here. Now, I go a little bit risky with the knight. He removes the queen from the attack. I take, and I finally get my e5 in. So basically, if in the Dutch, if you ever get your e5 that comfortably, usually you know that you're either close to equal or you're equal, so that's good. Hi Vlad, nice to see you. So that's what happened in this game. Here, like, white of course still has a lot of things to do, so They play this, and oftentimes the plan is to attack on the queen side, which would make sense. And I was afraid that if I play a5 is one of the best moves, but I was afraid that if I play this, then, well, actually no, because then here there's this, so first they take, and then a3, and I just didn't like the fact that this was also attacking here and also threatening that, so I decided to stay away from it and just play knight a6 right away. And here, to my surprise, he doesn't go for this takes and b4 idea, but instead goes for queen to b2. There's a couple of things to decide here, and I decide on playing e4. If I ever get to play d5 myself, I would be so happy. I would love this position. I really like these ones because then I get like a free attack. But he knows that too, so he plays d5. And here's where sort of the interesting part starts. What do you guys think is the best way to continue here in general? Because what I chose was pretty interesting, and but we'll see. We'll see what you guys think, because I haven't asked chat questions in a while. Do anything's crazy? It's not crazy. Like even for my level, I think doing anything would be helpful. But if you're 1200 online, like doing any sort of tactics is gonna help you. Learning any sort of opening more deeply is gonna help you, because most of the games around 1200 they end from somebody blundering a piece. So naturally, if you blunder your pieces less, or like pawns, or blunders under time pressure or not under time pressure, like it will improve. But obviously, like it's hard. Like it's hard at every level, and like probably the level that I struggle at, somebody else like just didn't even have to think about it, and they passed mine at the age of 12. But I think especially at at beginner intermediate levels, as long as you do anything and you like it and you enjoy it, like you're gonna improve. I think it's just a matter of hours, like not hours, but time invested will pay off in like anything you do. Sorry for the cam. So yeah, that's the long answer. Mike, thank you so much for the 24 months. Thank you. 2 years in. Thank you, I appreciate it. You need to say hi to anybody. Are you at Tata Steel? That's so fun. Hope you're having fun. Okay, so some good suggestions over here. Trade queens, queen f6. CD, knight b4, I think. No, nobody got the move. Suregrass. Hydrate? Yeah, let me hydrate. Let me hydrate, Starlight Chess. So, nobody got the exact move, but yeah, trading the bishops is, well, kind of a must, because otherwise you're leaving these two on that diagonal. And here, queen f6 I also considered, but actually it's looking pretty bad the more it looked pretty bad the more I looked at it, because this, and then there's just some f3, and I just really dislike my piece coordination, and a lot of weaknesses, and basically just wasn't really a thing. Oh, you are from the Netherlands, that's nice. Hope you're doing good, Vlad. So, I played this instead, even though I probably should have just started with this. And then basically like transposed to the positions that I meant to transpose to in the first place. But I played this first, and I was personally fine with this and f3 and just supporting it with d5, but apparently white has some advantages there and sort of just has slightly better piece placement. But after this he plays f3. And this is sort of the parts that I was calculating in the game. So I ended up taking. Now, they need to take here. And after knight d5, I think he stopped calculating after queen to d4. Because it just looks like my knight has to go, and then he wins this pawn back, and my pawns are looking a bit sus, and as well as my king. But this is where sort of the key move in the sequence comes in. You guys can try, yeah, already found it. See, I don't even have to say to find it. You guys already found it. Queen to b6. And the fun part, so now the trading is forced, otherwise there's knight, I don't know. Well, otherwise, well, no, it's just forced, simply. Now the fun part is that I took back with the pawn, and that actually makes a huge difference from taking back with the knight. So right now, I would lose the pawn back, and even though the pawns are equal, the position is really not, just because white has so much easier play. My pawns are looking stupid, and white is just better. So instead I take like this. The pawns look stupid, but at least the rook is active, so I don't need to activate it. And my knight is still active with a lot of threats, so that's how the game continued. That's what I mean, that's what I mean. I played against Sean before? Yeah, I have. We grew up in the same age category, so we've played quite a few games. So, after this, I played 93. I really liked that knight, and when I had to trade it, I was so sad. But look at that knight; it was just so nice and beautiful. At the Youth Olympiad, I was low-key there, so you can tell me who your friend was, because I was low-key there. Maybe it was a different one, but we played the Youth Olympiad on the same team back in 2019. Unless it was a different time. Oh, interesting. Oh, the most recent one? No, then I guess he goes as a coach. I haven't been to the most recent ones. Usually he's a nice guy, so I'm not sure what the situation was. Anyways, so we played this, and now my knight really needs to decide. Oh, okay, nice, that's good. So we have to decide what to do with that knight, and a lot of things are similar, but they just lead to like a very different position. Like for example, if this, that permanently changes the position. If I play this, that can also permanently change the position. So there's a lot to do. I decided on this, and now I just repeated moves for the 1 minute extra time on the clock. And I didn't want to draw to repeat it like that, so I went for rook a2. The position itself is equal, but there's a lot to do. There's like, my pawns are hanging after a while, his pawns are also hanging after a while, so it's an interesting game from here on. So he takes here, I went here, and I think he was afraid that I'm gonna win one of these pawns. So well, the rook also doesn't have, I fully expected rook here, but there was some, like, I didn't even expect rook there, to be honest, but apparently there's some stuff going on here. Rook d7, yeah. Anyways, a lot to calculate here. I didn't calculate all of this, but I was just expecting rook here, but instead he played there. Now I took the bishop, and the knight took here, and this is where I was getting a bit annoyed, just because this whole time I've been wanting him to, for example, take like that, and then I'll take like that, and then I'll do this, and even though I don't win anything, it would still be a really annoying pin to deal with. So I was like, okay, that's great. But then he did this, and knight's here basically saves his rook from my attacks, and I was annoyed at that possibility. I don't know why that possibility exists. So instead I had to settle for this pawn, and basically black is slightly better. I'm not gonna reveal the end result of this game, but we'll see. So, here's where sort of my mistake was. I should have played rook b2, because then this is a better placement for the rook. Thank you, Guda, for the follow. This pawn just gets more freedom to run forward. But instead, I played rook here, because I kind of didn't want knight d5 to happen. So that was my idea, but it just ended up being a pretty stupid idea. Because my rook could not defend these pawns effectively. It would have been fine if my bishop had stayed here, but the problem is that my bishop gets kicked out. So after it got kicked out, the rook could basically go on the b file, and now my rook is not really defensive well. So really, it would have been much better for my rook to stay there. Hi, not Joel. How was the tournament? Yeah, in fact, Joel, I don't have very many draws. Even in my, especially in my OTB, my thing is that I don't remember the last time I've offered a draw, to be honest. I indirectly offer a draw, let's say, I repeat the position, and if they want a draw, sometimes it's possible, but I've never offered a draw. In, not ever, but I've never, in the recent years, offered a draw. Maybe that's weird, but it's just never a situation. There's just honestly never a situation where I want a draw. If I want a draw, then I'll just try to, I don't know, make the position simpler. Yeah, some people are very prone to draws. A lot of my friends complain about, oh my god, I have so many draws, I have such boring positions. Guys, just play the Dutch, come on. Then you're not gonna have boring positions. But no, I do get draws, of course, but it's just never really by agreement before. It's never by agreement before we reach a really, really dead position. Now, losing is quite nice. Yeah, I don't know what that's like. I guess I'm all or nothing. Yeah, see, I think it just depends on the situation and style. So here, in this position, I decided to just give up that pawn. I was not about to be passive with rook a6. So I did this instead, and then white took, and I went for my last trick that I had, which was bishop h3. And basically, now white has only one move that saves them. What is the move? I don't know, I'm just not a very drawish player. I don't play, I guess it's because I don't play a lot of symmetrical stuff. Okay, see, Alpaca, I'm not that crazy. I support that lifestyle, but I'm not that crazy. I don't play -2 type of stuff. I draw the line at -0.7 or +0.7. That's where I draw the line. Sometimes +1 if the position is really complicated and they have only moves to find. So yeah, rook here is the only saving move, because if they don't defend this knight, then I'm gonna take it and get a really nice checkmate. And if they play this, which is what I was hoping for, maybe they blunder this, because I have a really nice rook f3 move, and now basically I will just play this and this next. So I don't know what they play, but they have barely any moves, but let's say they play this, and then I play this. Would have been very nice. But unfortunately it never happened. So he saw this defense, and here the position is equal, but I tried to still press this ending, because believe it or not, but one of the games that I played this summer in Benasque in Spain, I actually won very similar ending as black with that outside passer. It was not exactly the same position, but I won a very, very similar ending. So I was like, okay, maybe there could be something, especially in time trouble. So I tried to push the pawn and get my king in, but unfortunately his king was close enough for me to not get too much activity. So we played around. I wasted all my time trying to think of how to trick him, and I couldn't trick him. I tried to play on. I didn't agree to any draws, so I just kept playing. He actually offered me a draw earlier, and I said no. But it wasn't because I'm like arrogant or anything. It's just because I would rather play this because I think I'm the only person that can push for a win. But it wasn't possible. He didn't make any mistakes. And I was checking after the game if there was any chance for me to win, and honestly, there wasn't. There was only that chance I showed you guys with Rook B2 to be a bit better. And it ended in a draw. GG. So he defended well. There was nothing to do. Guys, I'm so tired. I don't want to do the other 2 games. Do we really want to do the other 2 games? Because I feel like I'm rushing through it. I'm not even making it that instructive. I'm just telling it as a story time. Yeah, Joel showed up and suddenly we have draws. He brought his drawing curse. The thing is, there's no next stream. I don't know when the next stream is. There's low-key no next stream, so... I should probably do it now. Shall we power through the next 2 games? Is this even instructive for anybody? I don't know. I don't know if this is instructive for anybody. But there's so many more moments to stop at, so... Honestly, if somebody learned that the Dutch is not ugly today, that is my mission here is complete. My mission is complete. If somebody likes the Dutch... Yeah, okay, how about this, guys? I will look over game 4. Okay? I look over game 4. The one... It's not my favorite game, but we'll still look at it. I don't know. And on game 5, I analyze it on ChessBase so that it's long form YouTube video. What do we think about that? But that one had the most, that one was actually the most interesting, but maybe I give you a game where I crushed the opponent. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I already showed the games I could. Do you guys want to see me getting crushed? Because that's the next game I have. Show game 5. Yeah, I play on board 1. There's no easily crushable opponents there. No, game 5 is super long. I'll just tell you guys, how about this? I think I'll analyze game 5 on ChessBase. And it'll come out as a YouTube video. But game 5 had was just the most fun, so I'll just tell it verbally. Deal or no deal? And then we see me get crushed in game 4. Do we want to do that? Yeah, because game 5 was 113 moves. It was 113 moves, it was 6 hours, and I'm not doing that. I'm not, I can't do it today. You guys forget that I still have to study today. No, don't learn that, Alpaca, please don't. Hello, Jorge. Yeah. So, that game, honestly, this was also one of the... I really liked the second game that I showed you guys. Not even... The first one, not even as much. I really like this one. This one was also not my favorite. This one is instructive if you want to see how to crush me. So let's look at it. And then game 5, I'll show on... I'll show it on the stream, on my ChessBase video. As a ChessBase lesson. But honestly, game 5 was not even well, okay, it can be instructive, but it was honestly, it was just entertaining, more than it was instructive, I find. You learned the secrets already? outside theory, what did I notice that had an impact? I don't study theory, so I don't know why you guys ask me as if I'm a theoretical wizard. I'm not. I'm actually the least theoretical wizard. So, last game. This was my worst game of the tournament. Well, not even my worst game, because honestly, if I had to give a recap, I would just say my opponent played well. And it's, you know, some games you feel so like bad about, and obviously it never feels good to lose. But this one I wasn't, like, if the opponent just played a perfect game, you're not too mad about it. So that was one of those situations. The opponent just played well and I just didn't, so there's nothing to say. So let's go on. Game 4. This guy was from University of, guess what? Waterloo, because we played 3 University of Waterloo teams. Crazy. Why is my ELA lower? Oh, because we switched from Canadian ratings to FIDE ratings, I think, for this one. Whatever was entered here was entering FIDE ratings. So suddenly I dropped 200 points. Sorry, guys. Accidentally dropped 200 points within the span of 2 games. But it's just because this is my FIDE and 2346 was my CFC rating, Canadian Federation. The opponent was you? Are you secretly Yuhei Huang? Gandalf, are you secretly my opponent? That one loss might have cooked my rating. It actually, I mean, yes, it did cook my rating, but overall, I think I'm about neutral from that tournament. Like, I should not lose any rating, or if I do lose, it would be like 1 point. Like, for me, I mean, I don't mind if my opponent actually watches the recap, but I'm not talking shit or anything, right? Like, I never talk shit when I analyze. In fact, you guys would know that, like, if, like, you guys know that, like, on stream, sure, like, I never say anything, but even in real life, I barely ever talk shit. Like, if I actually say something bad about somebody, it's really, like, after, like, a really justified thing. And I don't even say anything bad. I would just say what they did, or my opinion on the situation. So I very, very rarely will talk badly about somebody, like if it's unjustified, or even if it's just my opinion. So it takes a really long time to actually piss me off. Imagine not losing rating. I mean, usually I have to imagine that, but not this time. I don't think that's big of that's not that big of a swear. Come on. But yeah, anyways, I always see the best in people, so even if they do something bad, I usually try to figure out why they did it. Probably it's a useless waste of time, but I don't mind it. I prefer to live that way. Anyways, I was playing as black again, which was quite unfortunate because I don't like getting 2 blacks in a row. Nobody likes it. But that's what happened this time. So I was playing black again, and guess what I played against d4? Guess what I played? We're gonna speed through this game. I did not play the Dutch, unfortunately, Alvoka. I did not. As much as I love the Dutch, I played it last game, so I was like, okay, time for change. Wow, so many guesses in chat. Not very many people actually got it. I played Knight of 6. C4. E6, unfortunately not G6. Sorry guys. I love King's Indian. I'm a King's Indian fan, but I told you guys, sometimes I like it more solid, so I played the well, not really the Nimzo, because he didn't play knight c3, but played the, what is it called? What do you even call this? The Nimzo Indian, I guess? Because there's no, like, to me, knight c3, bishop b4 is Nimzo, but this, no, Bogo is g3, bishop b4. So what is this then? Yeah, the Nimzo, I guess we can call it the Nimzo Indian then. So, he played g3 though, which kind of like, it evades all of that stuff. I mean, I could still play the Bogo, but I didn't. I played this. So it was just a regular one of those d4, d5 positions. So you see, like, I just switch it up. Like, I don't always play the Dutch, so it really depends. And then around here, oh, by the way, wait, I forgot the very key part of the story here, guys. So, we're playing this. This was, by the way, on DGT board, so those who saw it, like, this was also on DGT board on that day, last weekend. And for those who don't know, my opponent was like 25 minutes late. It's not very often that I get a 25-minute advantage right on move 1. So already, we were starting off very happy. I had an extra 25 minutes, which is a lot for somebody like me who's quite slow and who likes who likes to spend their time. That's a good thing. But sometimes when the opponent is late and then they come really locked in on adrenaline, so they start playing quickly. So yeah, sometimes, I mean, even I've done that before. Sometimes when I'm late, I am even more locked in. But I don't think he did it on purpose, because like maybe 5 minutes somebody could do it on purpose, but 25 is not on purpose for sure. Like, I could tell. I don't think anybody's playing mind games. But yeah, he really pulled a Magnus. He was 25 minutes late. Not on purpose, I believe. But anyways, that was a key detail that I forgot to mention at the start. So I played the Nimzo Indian, I guess, if we want to call it that. He took, played bishop e3, and I was very, very happy with this opening position because I got my c5 in, I have pretty good piece development. I was very happy. Like, I was very, very satisfied because he didn't seem to expect it. He wasn't too prepped against it, so I don't mind. I really liked my position. I played knight here to defend here one more time. Then this followed up, and I played knight b4 because I was calculating knight b4 and then bishop to f5, and now I have knights here threats. And in case he goes rook here, I was gonna play knight here, and this was there was a lot of calculation here, but I really liked it. So here, I was honestly considering f6. And if, like, no matter, basically one of the key things here is that this pawn is hanging. So if he goes, I don't know, somewhere like that, I can just take and just come back. No problem. Although it says not come back. What does it say to do? It says to take here. Okay, sure. So that was one of my calculations there, and I was very happy that at least my pieces develop with activity. I have everything I wanted. But then he played rook f to c1, which ruined some of the plans with that pawn on a2 being hanging. And the rooks are pretty well placed, so next move he's most likely going to kick out my knight and then try to play against hanging pawns. That's one of the main structures in a lot of these Nimzos, is that white will, I'm just gonna show it as an example, but let's say something like this. It's a bad position, a6 is a very bad move, but it just shows this pawn structure where they're called hanging pawns because usually white can attack them pretty well. But at the same time, they can be strong because they're two pawns in the center and they get some good play. They probably make some threats. But I do have a lesson, like if somebody really wants to learn about this pawn structure, I should have a lesson in my chess base lessons on the hanging pawns pawn structure. And I think pawn structures in general are really worth learning because they repeat. They might not, the same opening might not repeat, but the pawn structures might repeat. So anyways, I played this, and at this point I was already feeling like, okay, the opening went fine, but it's not like super... It's not super good. Like, it wasn't quite what I wanted. It wasn't quite what I wanted, because now he got the knight over here, and suddenly my hanging pawns are actually starting to hang, so I didn't like that. I did consider c4, and basically just playing like that, but then he plays some bishop g5, maybe goes there, maybe plays this, wins the pawn on e5, so I just didn't really like some of the ideas that he was getting, so I played this first, just to see what he does next. He played rook here, which was really smart, really good move, and now finally I closed it up with c4. Computer says it's a slight inaccuracy. It says the best move was queen e8, not gonna lie, did not even consider that. But I guess, what's the idea? I wonder what's the idea here. I guess it's the fact that this is not really easy to take because of queen rook d8. But even there's some this, I don't know. I mean, I like this for black, but still, you have to find giving up that pawn. So, yeah, you have to calculate rook d8 there. So I didn't consider queen e8, to be honest. So instead I just locked it up so that he doesn't have too many threats there. And here's where things are starting to go south. So although, like, and by the way, in this position, I had an extra, like, 40 minutes. 40 minutes on the clock. And I still couldn't find anything good. So that's the sad part, is that I couldn't use my time advantage well. I mean, all the moves I was playing, I was trying to play the best possible move, but that just is not what happened. So nothing is too crazy yet, like there's no huge problem just yet, but I started going just a bit wrong, just a bit off. I should have come back here, and I personally didn't want to do it because I felt like e4 was really strong here, but that would have been the best possible outcome for me. In that case, offer a draw. See, my problem is that I never offer draws. I was just talking about it. I just never offer draws. Like, I wouldn't even offer a draw if I thought I was worse. Because first of all, that's disrespectful to my opponent, because obviously they want to play on, they want to try to win that position. And second of all, like, I just feel like it's a sign of weakness, and I don't want to show my opponent that I want a draw. See, maybe it's my fear of rejection, because then I'm like, damn, if they reject my draw, I'm gonna be like, wow, crazy stuff. No, but not even that. I always play for a win. Sometimes I do play for a draw, but I find that you have to prove it. You don't, like, I don't really offer it. And you know how higher rated players always, whenever they're losing to a lower rated player, they often offer a draw as a way of avoiding that loss. I've never done that. Maybe I should have. That would have saved me quite a bit of rating, because that's, I mean, it's a smart thing to do, but unfortunately, I've never done that. Not sure why. It's not in my, I don't know, not used to doing it like that. Anyways, was playing here. Oops, I played knight there, and already white is better because they just get a really nice attack on my pawns. And yeah, I'm gonna, so I took, and here I already realized I was in really big trouble. So I played what I thought was the most sharp, but guys, try to guess, what is the best move for white here? It was honestly quite nice. Just tell me, what's the best move for white? E takes d5, f5. Okay, some good stuff. Actually, they're all top 3. And Joel with the move that happened in the game, knight c6. So, if we want to be super technical, this is the best move. But this allows me to at least take this and sort of like, this is kind of shaky. Like, I would prefer this position over what I got in the game. But F5 is the third best move, but not quite as good because once again, I sort of get away with it a bit more in this line. But knight c6 was just really deadly, and I saw it when I was going f6, but like there was not really much of a way to prevent it, so I allowed it anyways. But knight c6 was really nice. Offer a draw is the best move. That was the best move maybe 5 moves ago, but I didn't do that. I never offer a draw. In fact, one time I think I was commentating for Dina, I remember, and at the end she was so mad and she was like, draw offers should be illegal. And I low-key agree. I don't like draw offers. I feel like quick draws make chess worse. And I think if you make a draw, like, make it. Like, at least repeat moves, at least offer a repetition. Do something interesting. I don't like draw offers as they are. Maybe it's just a toxic trait. The best move is to resign. I mean, I wish, but knight c6, look at that, it's brilliant. Wait, where does it, I'll show it to you guys. Brilliant. Unfortunate for me. Unfortunately for me, he found it. And that's why I'm saying, like, he just played well. There's nothing I can do. I should have done something back when the position was okay. And I did try my best in this situation, and knight c5 was a good try, but my last slightly better try was this, but I just saw this position and it looked so disgusting. Like, I don't know, it looks disgusting to me. I can't, I don't know. I wasn't able to play this position, because what are my pieces even doing? They're doing absolutely nothing, and I just don't ever see myself. Yeah, we have a brilliant team, that's right. Thank you for using it. So instead I went for knight d3 because I thought that was slightly more interesting to take like this instead and to at least try to get some sort of attack going, but that was not enough and I'm still... And yeah, so I gave up this exchange because what else is my rook gonna do? It's totally trapped. There were some interesting lines here with like... There were some interesting lines where if some magic, I could maybe magically get some attack, but obviously every time white had something even better to attack with. So I went for a tactic like this because if they take, then okay, this is really my magical save. So this would have been great, but that never happened. So instead he took here, he took my exchange finally, and went queen c8. So very technical, very... I sacked the rook? Yeah, I did sack the rook. But see, even queen e6 was super nice. And if I go for this, then I am just in a lost ending. So instead he plays this, and rook to c6. And even though I saw everything is losing here, it didn't really matter because no, there were no other moves left. So, that was the end of the game. I did sack the rook. It wasn't really brilliant. It was just out of necessity, but... Knight c6 was brilliant because it allows white to get that pawn on e6 and regain the piece in a really, really good way. My opponent just played really well, like honestly, like I wish I hadn't allowed that, but at the same time, it's not one of those super infuriating games where you completely gave it away, the opponent didn't see anything and you just, you know, you gave it to them for free. Like here I felt like he kind of deserved it. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at this game. He played well. Nothing to say. So yeah, that was a nice instructive game on his end. And also, but that doesn't mean you guys all should be late 25 minutes to your game, because if there was somebody faster than me, then maybe that would have made a difference. But here the position, like he had enough time to calculate everything. Yeah, it was pretty slow, like pretty slow rise for him. You're new, hi, Calebabo. I was quick enough. We have time for game 5? No, I was not quick enough. There's no way I'm showing a 113 move game. Okay, so how about this? I'll just tell you guys about the last game, but I'll show it on my chess-based lesson. So at least, you know, at least we have something to look forward to in the chess-based lesson. So, after that, the team result of this match was that we actually drew, which was good. So at this point, the team result was that we won 2 games and we drew 2 games. So we were pretty good. We were on 3 out of 4. And we were, I guess we were fighting for the top 3, but we weren't really thinking about it. And the last game, we had a repeat of last year. So last year, we had the exact same result, like, to the point where we drew some low-rated team, and then we won 2 games, and then we drew some like even team, and then we played U of TA in round 5. So U of TA is University of Toronto, and they're the strongest team. Like they're really stacked. Like everybody's 2300 on their teams, even their alternates. Like they're all really strong. So they have the most players in general. In Toronto is like the biggest city that we have, so they have a lot of players. So last year, we played them in round 5, and I do have that game in my lessons as well. Actually, so that was a very... Wait, was it that game? I think it was that game. I think it's like how to analyze a game you lost or something. But I showed one of the games I lost there. So, yeah, they did really good at Panems too. Yeah, they're that strong that their team C came second in the whole championships, which was really funny. But yeah, so we played them in last round, and it's always like so frustrating because if it was anybody else, at least maybe we would have a chance for a top 3, but because we played them in the last round, then it's like, well, that was fun, that was nice, I guess we don't have a chance anymore. But I never thought that way. Obviously every team is beatable, and it's not about that, it's about how each one of our games goes. And there was actually a chance, so funnily enough, there was actually a chance in this match, and we were pretty close. So, last game, we play against the strongest team in the tournament, University of Toronto A. I'm playing against the strongest player of the tournament, which is, I am Nicolas Vites. I've grown up playing against him a lot because he was in my age category, and he was like, I don't know, I think he was a national master at the age of 10 or something crazy. Maybe I'm lying, maybe he was at 11 or 12. But he became a national master at a ridiculously young age, so he's been really good for a really long time. Obviously now he probably focuses more on university and everything, but I've played against him many times throughout me growing up in Canadian chess, so we've known each other for a while. And every time we play, it's the craziest game ever. I don't know why, I don't know who's responsible for it. Maybe it's me, maybe it's him, maybe it's both. But every time we play the craziest game ever, and it's just, he's a very tactical player as well, so he like goes for a lot of tactical stuff. And so, we start the game. He plays a slightly suboptimal opening, but still pretty sharp. Then we all spend a lot of time thinking, we go into an ending where he's up a pawn, but I have a bishop pair and I have activity, so it sort of feels quite balanced. Slightly better for him though. And then we get into time trouble, and then things go into crazy mode. No, we don't need moves to follow along. I'm not starting that game. So then we get into crazy time trouble. My PGN is there. Don't worry. My PGN is there. But we get into a crazy time trouble. Okay, fine. I'm not stopping at any variations. But we go on. There's a lot of instructive stuff there. But anyways, he finds a really nice tactic. I find a nice tactic. We go into this ending that I'm talking about, where White is up. White has a bishop pair, but he has the extra pawn. So he's pressing, but I also have some activity. So we go on, we get into time trouble, his pawns start rolling. I'm like, I don't care. So from then on, the tide shifts a little bit, and he goes for something a bit crazy with trying to get a passer himself because he was trying to find a way to win. And then suddenly, we're in time trouble, and suddenly I'm winning because my b-pawn became stronger. And then we're both confused what's happening. Suddenly I'm winning, and my pawn is much stronger. And then I get all the way here. I am basically like on the verge of winning, and I even play the right waiting move to force him to try to force him to take. And here, I don't know, like I calculated all of this and I thought this was winning, but I saw knight c7 and I just hallucinated the fact that his pawn was going to promote, but it wasn't actually going to promote. So that was just the saddest moment for me because I missed such an easy win that I even like I set it up myself to do this. I set it up and then I didn't go for it. So that was just really sad. 1 second. And then it gets crazier than that. So yeah, my king is in time, but I just hallucinated that it's not. That's the sad part. So I had a chance to win. That would have been a really big win against a 2400 rated player in IM, but didn't happen. So I make a really strange decision to not do that, and then suddenly black is actually winning if he had found the right to move, which was something like, hold up, I forget what it exactly it was. Yeah, it was somewhere here. Thank you, Balta, for the follow. I thought maybe knight c2 was a better chance to win. Rook a4 was also a really good chance to win. So there was a lot of complicated stuff there. And then we get here. It's equal, but it's complicated, and black is the one pressing for the win. So then we play on, and then I make some very strange decisions. He can win here by playing g5, but he misses it, and then he goes here, and then I go for the biggest bluff of my career, probably. I didn't think it was a bluff though, which is why it worked out so well. But I take here, and yeah, true, that's true, PMD. So basically, the idea is that I'm planning to give up this bishop for the 3 pawns, and my bluff is that this is a draw, and that I'm just gonna bring my king over and it's gonna be fine. But the reality is that it's not gonna be fine. And the way to make this draw is to actually bring the rook from behind, which is a really smart idea, but it does require some calculation to see that this is actually just checkmate. So, yeah. That's how he could have won. I like how the computer is like, rook h1 is a great move, and I'm like, yeah, thank you, it's made in one. Thank you for telling me that. So I play this. Yeah, almost, it's like a poker bluff, but I didn't see. I think we were both just like on 30 seconds, so we didn't, like, we weren't gonna go crazy. So he believed me. Thankfully, he believed me, and he did not take my bishop because he didn't want to deal with 3 pawns. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to deal with 3 pawns when your rook is like, when you don't have time to calculate. So he just took it here because he thought maybe he has a chance to hold this. And I found the only way to make this draw, which is this king g3 setup. Like here, this is the only way to draw, is king g3. And then we played, this is move for the records. This is move 66, and I got grinded for the next 50 moves. This is what I mean, but I'm not analyzing this game now, because look at this. How long is this gonna take? Draw, finally. Finally, we got to the end. Confuse the opponent, you must confuse yourself. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think if I had known it was a bluff, I wouldn't have played it, and maybe he would have felt it. So, it's good that I was confident in it, because then he also just trusted it. Size wants to play that with a couple of minutes. Yeah, that's true. Never trust me? No, that's not true. I don't generally bluff, which is what makes me a good bluffer, because I don't usually bluff. Yeah, that's true. Plus, that was the only way to win. That's true. So that's how the game ended, and the funny part about this was that everybody was waiting. Like, this was lasting 6 hours, there was a lot of pressure, the whole tournament was waiting because we were the last game, and there was the closing ceremony to do, and yeah, so was it tough to hold in the end? I wouldn't say it's hard because I was sure that it's a draw, but it was just more psychologically, like, I really didn't want to make a blunder, because I'm not lying, if I had not held that, I would have been so upset. Like, not even as upset as that game I lost, because that game I lost, sure, fair enough, like, I got outplayed. But here, that would have been so, like, soul-wrenching. Is that the right word? Soul-crushing. If I had lost that game, that would have been so sad. It was hilarious. Well, at least it was fun to watch live because, yeah. It was not as fun to play. It was not as fun to play, but fair enough. He wanted to press. Some people were like, why does he keep pressing? Like, just go home. Like, what are you doing? But I think it's okay. Like, he tried. It's not a bad thing. He has the right to do it. But, yeah. So with that, our team drew 1.5 to 2.5, which means we were very close. So if I had found that win, we would have drawn 2-2 with the match. But somehow that still wouldn't have changed the standing, so we still wouldn't have made it to top 3, so at least that makes me feel better. And yeah, that's true. I think there were some ways for White to lose that, so I don't mind. Maybe there were some ways for me to lose that pawn, and from there he can try to press me in bishop and rook. Bishop versus rook. No, I meant like if I had won and we would have drawn, that wouldn't have changed the standings, like you said. So that's the brief story of that game. See, we even got to see the PGN. I was only gonna show that. So I ended the tournament with 3 out of 5. Pretty neutral result rating wise, so I didn't lose too much. And I won that women's prize that I showed a while ago. I still have it here. But that's what it is. It actually matches my outfit today. But it's a nice one. I really like the glass trophy thing. But yeah, our team finished 5th, so we started 5th and finished 5th, so that's kind of the end of the story time. Can't be into showing every game. Yeah, but you didn't get my full analysis on this game. There was actually a lot of fun things to analyze on this game. A lot of like interactive questions I could have asked, so maybe I'll do that to Arnie. You guys can see Arnie suffer through my interactive questions on the chess-based lessons next week. So, full recap of the tournament. Wow, I'm probably never doing that again because that was 3 hours. And I have stuff to do. I did not plan for the stream to be that long, so you guys are not fooling me into this again. Okay. Did I do the same thing last year? Did I actually do the same thing last year? Oh, I didn't do streams. Makes sense, makes sense. Who should we raid? Should we raid Joe? There's Joe, there's Lafong. What do we want to raid? Let's raid Joe. Haven't raided him in a long time. So, guys, it's been fun. Thank you all for joining today. It's been a really, really, really long time since I've had streams like that and since I've played OTB, so I'm glad we got to do this together. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I will most likely be MIA for the next while. I have a midterm in 2 weeks, so I really have to go hard study mode. Today was my last chillax day because starting tomorrow I'm gonna be on a really, really intense school schedule as always, so maybe I'll do a Saturday bullet brawl next Saturday, but that's still in question. But no, don't see me in March. No. Maybe Saturday bullet brawls, but that's gonna be it. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe next Saturday bullet brawl, and then we stop for a bit. Okay, have a good rest of your day, everybody. It's been fun. Thank you for joining, and see you. Come on, bye. See you very soon, right? See you on Saturday for bullet brawl. You know me, I don't skip bullet brawls that often, so see you soon.